Welcome to TPM's 3-Minute Thursdays. My name is Robbie Hoyler, and today I'm going to be talking about large assembly management, the hidden cash cow. Large assemblies are probably wasting you hundreds of dollars a week per user. I recently visited a customer who had a very large, complicated assembly, and it was taking 20 to 30 minutes to open, whether it was on a server or using, PDM or opening it locally. If you do this a couple of times a day, it gets expensive very quickly. In the end, TPM was able to save the customer over $2,000 per week perpetually simply by adding shortcuts and a few key things to their assemblies without changing the designs or altering their workflows substantially. You probably want to know how to do this too. Simple. Follow these key rules and steps and you will enjoy much faster assemblies on any level using SolidWorks. Firstly, turn on your large assembly mode. The threshold by default is set to 500. I usually set mine to 100 parts. Large assembly mode enables a series of settings that enhance the performance of the assembly and assembly drawing file. Of course, this is only the first step. Most people that try to open a fully resolved assembly with 500 parts over their server will be beyond help, even with just large assembly mode. If this is you, open the assembly in large design review instead. Large design review will allow you to measure, open parts, hide show parts, and look at the component tree, but making changes, looking at features, planes, etc., mating, and changing the overall structure you cannot do in this mode. If you just need to open the assembly to check a revision and selectively open just a few parts, then this is the best mode option for huge assemblies. You can still open parts from this mode, edit the part in a resolve mode, come back, do a rebuild, and then analyze the change. Beyond that, there are some additional techniques that can drastically enhance assembly performance. The defeature command has been showcased on the TPM Solutions YouTube channel, so go watch that video as well. The next technique I'm going to show you is immensely effective at reducing assembly load times, and that is speed packing. Speed packing has been known to reduce load times by as much as 90%. If you use good assembly technique on your large assemblies and that your top level assembly only has sub-assemblies, so that means no parts in the top level, then you can add a speed pack configuration to each subassembly, which will turn the pieces into just faces that are used for mating. Now, before you say I don't, can't, or won't use configurations because they can mess things up, just know this. Speed packing is not the same as a standard configuration, and it is simply turned on and off using the configuration manager. It's a great way to avoid common problems associated with suppressing the components and messing up the references, because with the speed pack option to create either a mated or graphical speed pack, you can reduce it down to either faces or shapes that ghost when you hover over them. By speed packing all of your sub-assemblies, the top level will open incredibly fast compared to what it did before, because only the mated faces are being used and not all of the features. You can turn off the speed pack and modify the subassembly or parts while leaving the other assemblies packed. When a speed pack is turned on, it is simply a graphical representation of the parts, and they cannot be modified, mated together, or changed unless you take the speed pack off first. Lastly, save all parts to the current version you're using. So if you have 2015 files, save those out to 2016. This will also greatly reduce the time to open an assembly because the software will not need to consider the version changes when rebuilding. This has been TPM's 3-Minute Thursdays. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.